welcome to another episode of Bottom of the Stream with Adam and Nick. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back to another week, another show from ourselves at Bottom of the Stream. And it's the one place to get up to date with all the best, most important pieces of news in the world of streaming and movies.
It certainly is. That's what we do. That's what we're here for.
How are you, Adam?
I think that's the earliest you've ever peaked my waveforms in front of me here on the screen.
I'd just like to give you something to do. Also, and possibly a reason for that is I haven't even told you this part.
Oh,
so
God.
I had a cold. I've had a cold like last week.
Yep.
And then I thought, shifted it. Feel loads better. I went to bed on last Friday. Fine. Just took myself off to bed as one normally does.
Yeah.
Woke up 2 hours later. Raging pain in my ear.
Oh, no.
Literally couldn't get back to sleep. Like, took some pills, didn't touch it. I basically ended up sitting at my kitchen table drinking tea for most of the night.
No way.
And
earache?
Yeah.
That's so retro. You never hear of people getting earache.
You used to have an earache all the time when I was a kid.
Only kids get earache.
Yeah. And ended up like seeing an out of hours GP on the Saturday. Got an ear infection.
How?
So
How does this happen?
I've been spraying like antibiotics into my ear.
I've not had a good few weeks. How's your knee?
I've feels much better.
Good.
I mean,
it's
it
good.
Doesn't feel right, but feels much better.
Good. I've got a really dull ache in my elbow today.
Oh my
and
God,
my
we're so
thumb is
old.
hurting. It's like travelled down.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting old, man. This is just life now. Things just hurt.
Yeah.
Have you got to the point where you can't stand up now without making a noise?
I know what you mean. So yeah, I don't think I make that sort of noise, but my body makes noise.
Yeah.
Like I know I had this knee injury recently. I stood up out of a chair to come here, and my knee it made the loudest click.
Maybe we
and
should
that's a new thing now that happens because I've ripped some cartilage or whatever.
We'll just skip the whole Netflix thing from now on and just be like the old man pod.
Yeah.
Just two old men talking about their ailments. That's what we do now.
Yeah.
When did we get old, man?
I don't know.
It doesn't seem that long ago since we were cool and young. And fun.
I was never that. Never cool. But
you were young.
I mean,
no, I was never cool.
No. But I don't know. What's old? It's all relative, isn't it?
This feels old. It is.
What's the oldest you've ever been?
Oldest I ever will, youngest I ever will be.
Yeah, exactly.
But then for all these 90-year-old listeners we've got, we're like young whippersnappers.
That's what I mean.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
relative.
Do you want to give us a ghost update?
2 more pictures have come off walls this week in this house.
Yeah.
I was dismissive of the fact that there might be a ghost in this house.
Yeah, I'm full in on the ghost theory.
I am starting to come around to the theory. Another one in here fell off the wall.
Yeah.
And then literally just as you pulled up tonight, I've got one out on the landing that was at the bottom of the stairs when I went down there to let you in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. I just need to buy better nails?
I said to you, did they go up at the same time thinking, like you've got a bad batch of blue tack? And then you said, no these are affixed by different methods.
Yeah, the 2 in here everything in here is command strips.
Yeah.
And that was blue tack, but it's only like a poster.
Sure.
So it's fine. But yeah. And that one out there must have been up for 8 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's just been there.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then it's just gone. It's got to be in it. The ghost that doesn't like pictures or
wants you to redecorate.
Wants me to redecorate. Maybe this room does need redecorating, I think. I know there's a lot going on in here, but the walls themselves are not in a good condition.
Yeah.
So maybe we still need to do this room tour. We keep teasing it.
If the ghost is willing to help do the decorating.
Yeah, but it won't be, will it?
No,
it's not going to be a handy
It's not going to show it when we need it.
It's probably going to knock over my paint can or something as I'm in here, and then I have to redo the floor as well. Or...
It'd be like, I reckon it's going to be like an 80s sitcom ghost. So you'll turn around, you'll have a stripe of paint down your back.
Probably, yeah.
Be like,
It'll just push me off a ladder and break my neck or something. I don't know. But it's the only thing it does. I don't hear it. I don't have any other like spiritual occurrences.
Yeah.
But it just knocks pictures off walls. It's always done it in here. It's like there's a history of it.
That's like my cat just knocks things off the table.
Yeah, but at least you can see that happening.
Yeah, true. and it's a real being.
There's a lady. Did I tell you the lady at work who offered me some sage to burn?
You told me. I don't think you said it on the podcast.
Not. There's a lady at work who's offered me some sage that I can burn. Apparently, it calms them down. So
right. Okay.
I might actually take her up on it and get some. Or could I just like set some stuff in on fire?
Yes. I reckon burnt stuffing's not a good smell.
No. Cooked stuffing is a great smell.
Yeah.
Cooked stuffing's great.
I'll do both. Cook some stuffing and burn some sage.
Yeah. We'll just cook some stuff in, get half of it out when it's ready, and carry on with the rest.
But yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting that you might have a
I'll
ghost.
keep you up to date. These Funkos are always just jumping off the
Yeah.
shelves. That happens regularly. There's the people can't see them, but there's loads of like toys and stuff up there. They fall down.
Yeah.
There's all sorts going on in here. I will do I'll film a room tour at some point.
Okay.
When I've tidied it a little bit.
Good.
Good.
Should we do a question of the week?
Yeah, why not?
To kick us off.
I feel today's quite like a free-flowing episode. I feel
Yeah.
like we're just going to shoot the shit.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. There's no like rhyme nor reason to today's episode. I don't think.
I'm glad you said there's no rhyme or reason, because there's no rhyme or reason to this question either.
Okay, cool.
Which is kind of why I like it. It is a would you rather,
Right.
which we've had for a couple of weeks now.
I had a good would you rather question. I heard one in the week. I'll do one after you.
Okay, fine. Would you rather, every time you clap,
Yeah.
a random person somewhere in the world hears an air horn blast,
Okay.
or every time you sneeze, a goat appears within a 10-foot radius of you?
That's a no-brainer.
You want the goat?
No.
Oh,
Somebody in the world hears a air horn.
yeah,
every
like
time
right
I
next
clap.
to him. Yeah, like
So-
scares them.
If I'm doing a round of applause.
Yeah,
like-
air horns.
but is that different random people
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time?
yeah.
So it's not the same person just being bombarded with it.
I don't think so. I would say my judge's decision is it will be a different person gets air horned.
See, that's like, nobody's ever going to know that's happening.
No,
There's a lot of people in the world, and occasionally you might randomly hear an air horn.
true.
Nobody's ever even going to be like, what was
Well,
that?
if you're
Nobody's
on
ever
your
gonna,
own,
like, report it.
If you're on your own in your house though, and an air horn suddenly,
That's weird.
that's weird.
But then you're like, what was that? And then you move on and you forget
Goes
it
for an
ever
air
happened.
horn.
And then it probably would. Chances are it's never going to happen to you again. Once that
yeah.
one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I was hearing an air horn every time I clapped, then I might choose the goat.
Yeah.
Because that would be really annoying. But I don't feel like I clap a lot. Like I do quite a lot of stand-up
Yeah,
comedians.
exactly. Surely you save it up. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're clapping, or on a daily basis necessarily.
No.
But if you frequent the theatre or
I
something,
clapped yesterday.
did you?
Yeah.
Why did you clap?
We had a sexual harassment training at work. I said I don't need to go. I'm really good at it already. That was my joke. And then when it finished, everybody clapped. So I was like, okay, weird, but fine. So yeah, I clapped the day before at work.
Did
as well.
you?
Somebody else presented, and we clapped them. It's a thing now that we clap people.
Okay.
Apparently. So maybe I clap more than I think I
Yeah,
do.
maybe you do. Yeah.
It's got to be that though, isn't it? You don't want a goat to appear. What happens to the goat afterwards?
It just wanders
It's just
off.
there?
Yeah, it just wanders off.
What was the
Within
criteria?
So every time you sneeze,
Yeah.
a goat
I sneeze
appears
a lot
within
as well.
10 feet of you. You sneeze in fours.
Sometimes 8. I don't want like an 8 goats to just
Bam, 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 bam,
just goats everywhere.
Go, 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 go.
Our office would be full of goats. I sneeze a lot at work, and I'm not the only one who does.
We just open the door, let them out into the car park or whatever.
Yeah, but what if I'm in bed?
Yeah, I mean, that was within 10 foot, so...
They could end up in here, knock all the fucking pictures
Yeah,
off
that's
the wall.
true. I was going to say, what if you're in a car, but it might materialise outside of the car,
Yeah.
which would make a mess if you're on a motorway.
Motorway or something. Also, if I'm in bed and I sneeze and it appears within 10 feet, it could end up in my neighbour's bedroom.
Yes, that's true. that which would be hilarious.
Yeah. Hilarious, but also quite disturbing for him because he doesn't know this is happening.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the goat thing would make a good episode of
It's a great sketch.
of a farce or something.
Yeah, it's a great like Saturday Night Live sketch or something, but it's got to be the air horn.
Okay.
I'm going with the air horn. Quick one from me.
Yep.
Would you rather be photographed naked by somebody you know or somebody you don't know?
What's going to happen to the photographs?
They're
Are they
yours.
just- Oh, so I'm
it's
getting
a
them, not for
glamour
personal-
shot. It's a glamour shoot. It's tastefully done, but you are full ass naked. And
I'm thinking back to my history.
I know it's happened at least once in your life.
Probably by both. I mean, there's a very small number, i.e., probably one, that I would want, of people I knew who I'd want to photograph me.
Yeah, but you don't get to pick the person. I don't
No.
think. I think it's just a random person.
Well, just someone I don't know then.
Somebody you'd rather be naked in front of somebody you don't know than somebody you do know.
That wasn't the question.
It is. That's the basics of the question, though, isn't it? It's
but
you're going to be naked in a room with somebody in there.
If I'm not choosing who it is, then I'll take a stranger.
Okay.
Oh, they're professional. They're just there to take the photo.
Not necessarily.
Okay,
They
right.
could just be somebody.
I'll take the stranger.
I think I'd take the stranger as well.
Yeah.
You just don't know. Even if I could pick who it would be,
I
still think I'd rather it was a stranger.
Like your dad to be photographing me.
No, I don't want yours. I don't think I'd want anybody I know.
Yeah.
And I don't think your
They would.
relationships would ever be the same. I don't think they'd want to either. Unless it could be somebody who's seen it all before. But then, how many of them are about? Not many.
Yeah.
It's got to be a stranger, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I heard that on another podcast and it made me laugh.
You just remind me of something I was told this week, actually, which I thought was really sweet. So when you made that terrible dad joke about the sexual harassment course.
Yes. I've made that like 10 times this week.
Very nice. It's not bad. My youngest daughter said to me last night as I was tucking her in bed, she said, "Can I tell you something?" I said, "Yeah." She said, we were doing something about giraffes today.
Right.
I said, "Right, okay." And she said, the teacher asked, "Why do giraffes have long necks?"
Yeah.
And people were like, "So they can reach food at the top of the trees." My daughter, I've never been so proud, said, "Because their feet smell." And apparently the teacher loved it.
I can imagine your daughter delivering that joke as well.
Yeah.
Because she is going to be some sort of comedian when she's older.
And
I imagine her timing was immaculate.
he has christened her Queen of the Dad Jokes. She's 8 years old.
That's come from you, hasn't it? You've told her that joke before at some point.
Possibly at some point. I was like, "That's brilliant."
I
said, "Did everyone laugh? Did the class laugh?" And she went, "Yeah, they did. But only after they did. They really laughed after the teacher laughed. Like,
yeah, it's like
he'd
waiting
gone-
for my permission.
yeah, basically. Yeah.
That's the thing at school, though, isn't it?
Yeah. 'Cause they thought it was edgy.
That's an excellent joke.
You can't beat the classics.
It's an excellent joke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway,
This is such a weird episode. We're just like rambling.
that's fine.
Neither of us are really here for it this week, I don't think so. We're just like,
No, it's
meh.
fine. No, I think the opposite. I think we're totally in the room. But
Oh, I'm completely in the room.
just-
I'm just not quite, I don't know.
It's just
Doesn't feel the same.
the format's out the window.
Yeah,
bit,
the
that's
format's
fine.
a bit out the window.
There's something in the air, but that's fine. So we will do some news
Let's do it.
because there is quite a lot of news, and there is some really interesting news stories this week.
Okay.
And we're going to start off with, I guess, a double header of Electric State / Millie Bobby Brown news.
Sweet. I watched this at the weekend, so
Cool.
I
Tell
will
us about it
report
in a
back
bit.
later on.
I will probably watch it this coming weekend. But so I guess the first news story is about the initial viewing numbers
Okay.
for the movie. So the most expensive movie Netflix has ever made.
I have a stat on that. Do you want to know my
Yeah,
stat?
go
on
for it.
It's the first movie that's cost over $300 million by anybody
Yeah.
that isn't already part of an established franchise.
Wow.
So it is the most expensive standalone movie ever made by anybody,
Wow.
which is crazy.
That's a
$320
great
million budget.
Yeah. That's a great stat.
Yeah. There's only been 16 in total
Okay.
that have cost over $300 million, but they're
Okay.
all part of an established franchise
Yeah.
until this one.
Wow.
Fact. I was going to give you that later, but that was a good time to get
It was a good time to do it. Would you think then that Netflix would be disappointed that the Electric State is currently tracking to fall short of Netflix's top 10 movies of all time in terms of its viewing in the first month?
Yeah, I would imagine they're disappointed with that.
It, in its first 3 days, has accumulated 25.2 million views.
Okay.
By comparison, Red Notice did 75.6 million
Wow.
views in its first week.
Okay.
Carry On, which was the big
Yeah.
hit over Christmas, 42 million. Don't Look Up, Christmas before that,
Yeah.
46.6 million.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the first 3 days. Obviously, most hours are going to come in the first 3 days because it was a weekend. But that sort of suggests that might end up at 35, 40 million in its first week.
Am I wrong though, or has this movie snuck up? Because I don't think we've spoke about it a lot. in the build up to it. I know we've mentioned it before.
I don't feel we have either, apart from the sort of this has been commissioned.
Yeah, and I also didn't know it was out until it appeared. I never saw anything to say it was coming, and I'm not seeing any advertising for it.
I always think it's hard to judge. Like, is it your personal algorithms though? Because if I feel like something, how much did we talk about? I'm sorry to bring it back up, but how much did we talk about Rebel Moon?
Yeah, exactly.
And the trailer for the whatever you call it, trailer thumbprint all over my Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm
not getting that with this. And we should have the most Netflix algorithm of everybody. Yeah. All we do is Netflix. Our lives revolve around the damn thing. But yeah, I'm just not seeing it advertised anywhere. So maybe that's why. I think Netflix's marketing has gone downhill recently. I just don't see them advertising films anymore. The algorithm doesn't seem to pick up new stuff as much as it used to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't see them on like buses or anything.
It's a good job the Russos have got a small Marvel stuff to fall back on next.
Yeah. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but I thought it was all right.
Fine.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm still going to watch it.
Yeah.
I just like. It's hard to say because I've not seen it yet, but it's that. Is it?
Do you know what? Is it a bit out the window?
Is it a bit of like it's their turn to take a pan in because they're
maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's a silly, leave your brain at the door action movie.
Yeah,
that's all it is. There's no two ways about it.
Does it look expensive?
Yes, it looks. It's a really well made film. It looks beautiful. The robots are all really cool, and they look like genuine 90s, set in the 90s, so they're like 90s style robots.
Yeah,
she's fine in it. She's like the queen of Netflix.
Yeah.
But why she's trying to do an American accent, I don't know. I don't know. Something's not right with her, but I don't like her anyway. This has been established on this show before.
But that's just her accent, though, isn't it? I mean, Millie Bobby Brown is a kind. I know she's British, but she has that twang, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's a bit.
No, she's going more.
Yeah. Okay.
She's going more American in this. It was fine. It's just a silly little robot action movie. Yeah. It's on for. I didn't think it was boring. I thought the story was okay. It entertained me all the way through. I never got like, no, this is shit. I'm bored of this.
Yeah,
it was fine. It was a Saturday night pizza and a Magnum movie. It just happened to cost $320 million, mainly because you've got the two most famous directors in the world directing it, and bloody old Stranger Things in the lead role.
And Chris Pratt.
Pratt,
yeah, he's not cheap, is he?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah.
And your man from Breaking Bad. What's his name? Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, okay.
He's in it as well.
Yeah. I
imagine he's not picking up as much money as the others, but
no, I just think he seems to crop up in a lot of take the paycheck type stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'd be interested to see your thoughts on it because it isn't my sort of movie I'd normally go and watch.
Yeah.
But I was like, we're the Netflix boys. I need to be watching.
Yeah,
this
of course.
Movie.
Yeah.
And so I watched it, and I thought it was fine. I had no issue with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah, watch it. I'll be interested.
So bear with me because my fucking phone's not working. Hang on.
We're gonna have to get you to start memorizing these news stories so you don't have to read them.
I think it's the here we go. Evernote. So
fuck Evernote.
Okay. So connected to that story, I've got a follow up on Millie Bobby Brown of Stranger Things. So she, by the by, she says that she was doing one of many interviews on the press tour for Electric State, and she happened to reveal that she does not pay for a Netflix account.
What?
She's like Little Miss Netflix.
The queen of Netflix.
Yeah, she uses her parents' account.
That's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. That is so funny. She's on literally every Netflix original. She's in it. She's just robbing their account. Surely she should get a free one.
That's what she was asked. She was asked, does she get on this radio show? She was asked, does she get a complimentary account? She says, no, I don't have one. I'm on my parents' account.
She's in the most successful Netflix TV, second most successful TV show of all time. She's in Enola Holmes. She's in this now. They should be giving her a free account.
Which is funny because it was on Capital Radio. She said that, and then the host said to her, "It's funny you say that because they had Leo Woodall in
Right.
like a couple of weeks before to talk about Bridget Jones. So he was in One Day on Netflix, which was a huge hit last year, and he said exactly the same."
No wonder these people are so rich.
All of that is a way in to.
I think if you make a certain amount of money from Netflix, you should be given a free account.
That's money in the back. Yeah, exactly. Like, surely she has earned at least a couple of years free.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
If not a bit more.
She makes this film for Netflix. She's like, but we can't watch it because I don't have an account.
She was also asked in the same interview if there was any truth to the rumour that has circulated over the last couple of weeks that she is in the running to star in the upcoming Britney Spears biopic.
Okay.
Which we've talked about before.
We have.
Which is coming from the director of Wicked.
Yes.
Wicked Part 2, when he's finished with that. That's what he's moving on to. And she said, I respect that. I love that. I know, I have heard the talk. I can't wait for that movie if it's done with me or without me. I think it's going to be a brilliant story. I love Britney. Okay. Which is, I guess, kind of playing it coy.
Yeah.
While sort of saying, I would really like to do that.
But she's also not saying no either.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can you see her in that role?
I think I can see that the profile she fits.
Yeah.
Is the acting chops there?
Yeah, that would be my first. And also, is she too recognisable now to play somebody equally as recognisable?
I don't know.
I'm not sure on that.
I think I could see it.
I could see her doing it. I just don't know if she's the right choice for it.
Okay, we'll see.
We're always quite negative about MBB, aren't
we? She's got the presence for me. I think she's a.
Has she got longevity as a leading lady in Hollywood?
I don't think there have always been the best choices. With I thought Damsel was bad.
I never watched it. I heard it was so bad, but
she did her best, but I just thought that was a bad film.
Yeah.
I've not seen her in any of the Godzilla type movies. I will check out Electric State, and then obviously we've got later this year is the finale of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure is gonna give her some acting to do.
I would hope so.
And she's never stuck out as being bad in Stranger Things.
No, not at all.
But that
because
again,
everybody's bad in Stranger Things. Sorry, I'm on one today.
But you're probably right. Jury's out.
Yeah, the jury's still out for me. I've seen her in a lot of stuff now, and the jury's still out.
Okay, let's move on to some other Netflix stuff. So we obviously, I think 2021. So getting on for 4 years ago now, since Netflix lock, stock, and barrel purchased the rights for the Roald Dahl back catalogue and to make stuff going forward.
Yeah, because they went through a stage of making loads of it, didn't they?
Yes. So you had the Wonka film, which was unconnected to Netflix, but that was all agreed before the Netflix deal was struck. They did the short stories adaptations. Last year.
Yes.
But Netflix has announced, and I'm sure this is exactly what the Roald Dahl estate had in mind when they made this deal.
Okay.
That next up from that IP, I guess, is a new reality show.
What?
Inspired by Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I can tell you are excited. It will be called The Golden Ticket.
Right.
And according to Netflix and reported by The Hollywood Reporter, will combine elements of strategy, adventure, and social dynamics as contestants seek to gain entry to a retro futuristic chocolate factory and then try to make it through all the challenges they will encounter inside. It's
What?
Squid Game, the reality show, but in a chocolate factory.
Okay. That hurts me a little bit.
What? This must be exactly what they had in mind. Jeff Gaspin, who is Vice President of Unscripted Content at Netflix,
Right.
said, "We are thrilled to bring the magic of the Chocolate Factory to life like never before. A one-of-a-kind reality competition that blends all those things we talked about, creating an experience that is as captivating as it is unpredictable. For the first time, a lucky few won't just have to imagine the experience. They'll get to step inside the factory and live it."
Live what?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. One of them's going to fall into a lake and get sucked up a tube.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. There's so much good content you could adapt from Roald Dahl stuff.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Sheep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably be fucking brilliant now if we acted like that, wouldn't it? Be better than The Traitors.
Netflix has commissioned a new British-based limited series.
I thought you were going to say British Bake Off then.
It's the end of my cold. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't quite get the last syllable out. Called Legends. I think we mentioned this show before, but we've now got casting news. So I don't know if you remember this. This does ring a bell for me. So it is a series which has been created and written by Neil Forsyth and is inspired by real-life criminal investigations following a group of British customs employees who were sent undercover to infiltrate some of the UK's most dangerous
I do remember us talking about that.
criminal drugs gangs.
Yeah.
The two leads for this have been announced as Tom Burke, most known for Furiosa, the year before last, and also someone else you might have heard of, Steve Coogan.
Okay.
Is signed up for this one with Netflix.
I have heard of him.
As well as also in the cast, Charlotte Ritchie.
Okay. I like her.
Legends is set in the early 1990s when Her Majesty's Customs and Excise was losing its battle with illegal drug smuggling across Britain's borders. Their solution was to send a small team of employees undercover. As per the rest of the synopsis, these were not trained spies. They were normal men and women plucked from their ordinary lives around the UK, put through basic training and tasked with building new identities in the criminal underworld.
Right.
That all comes from Netflix via Variety. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Good cast.
Yeah.
I'm up for that.
Yeah. Steve Coogan does love doing a sort of prestige drama every now and again, doesn't he?
He's good at him, though.
Yeah. Would you say he's an underrated actor?
Yeah. I think so.
I always feel Steve Coogan, when he wants to
Yeah.
lay that, go for it, he can be.
He was so good in that Jimmy Savile
Yeah.
biopic. So good.
Yeah. That's that. What's the one with Judi Dench? Oh, is it Philomena?
Yeah.
He's good in that.
Yeah.
Okay, a show that is coming back, recommissioned by Netflix. You can either call it the third season or the second season. I'm not sure where we stand. It's a bit of a technicality.
Okay.
So Quarterback is coming back, which was
yeah.
So we had Quarterback.
Yeah.
That was the first season of Netflix's NFL sports documentary. Then we had the second season was Receiver.
Yeah.
And we are now for the third season going back to Quarterback.
Okay.
To follow.
That's where they follow like specific players.
Yes. So this will obviously be covering the season that finished 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, a while back.
And the subjects of Quarterback, which will hit Netflix in July, this time will be Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
Jared Goff from the Detroit Lions. And returning from the first season, Kirk Cousins.
Okay. Must have done well.
Yeah, they will all be that trio will be the focus of the new series of Quarterback. I've watched both those series and they were both really good.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, really interesting.
Awesome.
I think I did prefer. Yeah, I preferred Quarterback to Receiver, but anyway, it just depends on who they're following.
Yeah, of course it does. It's all about personalities.
That's all it is. Okay, I think one more piece of Netflix news.
Okay.
I feel like it's a while since we've talked about sort of a major event in Netflix games.
Yes.
But Netflix have announced this week that they are launching a new cooperative life simulation game called Spirit Crossing from the Spry Fox game studio, which Netflix purchased last year.
Yep.
They are the studio behind games such as Cozy Grove and Triple Town.
Right.
And according to the press release, Spirit Crossing will prepare you to adventure in a joyful world, a massive cooperative life sim designed to encourage friendship and make the world feel a little less lonely by you having your head in your phone or your or your iPad. From award-winning cozy game studio Spry Fox, journey through an ever-changing landscape as you spread kindness throughout a vibrant, inviting community. Netflix say that the game will allow players to work in groups to nurture their villagers and show that they are truly stronger together. Spry Fox call it their most ambitious project so far.
Okay.
To no date specifically other than later this year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's unusual to get like big stories on Netflix games.
It is, isn't it? That's all the Netflix news.
Okay.
Shall we move on to movies?
Why not?
What was your opinion? I'm going to presume that you've seen this film.
Okay.
Although probably not for many, many years. Did you enjoy, back in, I'm going to say about 1997,
Oh my God.
Starship Troopers?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
It's
I
good.
think I saw it at the cinema and I might have snuck in.
Okay.
And I don't know if I've ever seen it since.
Don't think I've seen it since it came out. I don't know if I would have seen it at the cinema though.
Well.
There's a VR game just come out.
Is that?
Starship Troopers. Yeah. It's
okay.
all right. I've played it. It's
Oh.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Just shoot bugs.
Basically, yeah. You like form a team and go out and do different missions, shooting bugs and stuff.
Cool.
It's quite good.
Well, none other than Neil Blomkamp, obviously the director behind District 9.
Yeah.
Chappie.
Yeah.
He has signed up to direct a new adaptation of Starship Troopers,
Right.
which, according to Sony, is not a remake of the 1997 film, but is an adaptation of the original novel.
Okay. I don't know if I knew it was a novel.
I don't think I did either. Have a guess then. What year did the novel that Starship Troopers is based on come out?
Film came out in 97.
Yeah.
89.
No.
Earlier.
Yes.
74.
Earlier.
63.
Earlier.
51.
1959.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There you go. Yes, Sony and Columbia Pictures are plotting a new Starship Troopers movie. An adaptation of the classic sci-fi novel by Robert A. Heinlein. Yeah. 1959. I did not know
I
that.
did not know
I'm
that.
kind of like...
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, a little bit. What was 1959's vision of
Yeah, because we hadn't even
Starship Troopers?
been to space at that point. I'm going to go on Amazon and see how much it costs. While you're
Okay,
talking.
cool. Interestingly, I'll give you some more facts. So that book won a Hugo Award for Best Novel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it must be good then. Who's Hugo?
He doesn't just give anyone an award,
No,
Hugo.
he doesn't.
So, yeah.
$2.99 on Kindle.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm getting that when I get home.
It's only 290 pages.
Yeah.
Get that done in a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely. I kind of like... Part of me is surprised that's not been done already.
Yes.
But that's not a... I know they've said it's not a remake. That's not a remake / adaptation that I feel mad at.
No,
I kind of feel like... Because that's quite a satirical... You know, especially Paul Verhoeven's movie. There's a very satirical, like, young people being conscripted.
Yeah.
And it feels like you could...
You could do something with that
That's
in
pretty
the modern
timely.
day.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that.
When people talk about it, I always have to think, because I always get it mixed up. What was that one that Rick Moranis did?
Oh, yeah, I Shrunk the Kids.
No, the space one.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, I always get them mixed up in my
Okay.
head. I always have to think, which one are they talking about? They should remake that as well.
Yeah, they should do that. I mean, the parody movie seems to have not maybe slipped away a bit, but yeah.
But all the Scary Movie guys are coming back.
Yeah, that's true.
They're all coming back for that next one.
Think how much sci-fi material there is to mine for like a Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Or yeah. I mean, the problem is though, Rick Moranis has been people have tried to tempt him out of retirement so many times over the last few years. I don't think Darth Helmet's the role that's going to bring him back.
If he's not come back for Ghostbusters, he's not coming back for Spaceballs.
No, I don't think he is. We can only wish.
Rick Moranis feels like one of those, like, you know, like Brendan Fraser stories of like Rick Moranis comes back, does one film, wins an Oscar. Do you feel like that's
see you later?
Yeah. Do you feel like that's what's going to happen?
It'd be an amazing story.
It would. Like Ki Hoi Kwan did it. Yeah. Brendan Fraser's done it. It feels like he's next in
Rick Moranis would be a bigger story than any of them.
Yeah, it would definitely.
He was a huge star.
He was in everything in the 80s.
And plus the whole story of why he stopped acting, and it's just it's sad, but it would be an amazing comeback story.
It really would. I feel like it's got to happen. I feel like the stars must align for that to happen.
I'd have to be. Well, yeah. What project would that take? Yeah. Here's some exciting news.
Go on.
So there is some rumors, again reported by the Hollywood Reporter, that Ketchup Entertainment, yes, a film distributor,
I'll just break my microphone.
Recently, I'm just going to plow on.
Go for it.
Recently, released, distributed The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, after it had been dropped by Warner Brothers.
Okay.
They decided they would shop it around rather than release it, and that's the company that took that one on.
I've never heard of that.
It's literally came out in the States in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
And it's earned about $6 million so far. So, you know, it's an animated movie. They are reportedly in talk with Warner Brothers to take up the long shelved Wile E. Coyote movie.
Oh, okay.
With Will Forte and John Cena.
Yeah, that's been around for a long time.
Which had a lot of actually really good sort of advanced word on it.
Yeah.
And it's about Wile E. Coyote taking the Acme company to court, and
I remember talking about that on here years ago.
Yeah. Apparently it had, like I say, from some advanced screenings, really, really good reactions. But Warner Brothers binned it. It was around the same time they binned Batgirl.
Yeah, it was. A couple of years ago.
Yeah. For obviously that because it was allegedly terrible.
Yeah.
And this because they just wanted to write the tax off. They are, according to the Hollywood Reporter, talking about a deal that could reach up to $50 million.
Wow.
To
you
take
pretty
on the
confident
rights.
in it.
Yeah. Don't know. We're not sure if that will happen, but it's people are talking about it.
That'd be cool.
Ketchup Entertainment, other projects that they've sort of backed and helped get out there are Hellboy, The Crooked Man, and Ferrari, which was that got a couple of Oscar noms a couple of years ago, didn't it? $70 million. Coyote versus Acme. Was. That's how much it cost. And then
they want to buy it for 50.
Yeah.
You can make more than that with it, surely.
Well, it's sat on the shelf for 2 years. So
yeah, exactly. Not making any money sitting there. Yeah. Talking of shelf movies, did you see the photos of the Toxic Avenger stills that started coming out? That's quite exciting. Yeah. I really hope that sees the light of day one day.
Me too. Right. A couple more bits. So, some DC Studios movie news, and this is interesting. Can you remember we talked a few months ago about a Sergeant Rock film, and we said Daniel Craig might be was in talks to play Sergeant Rock, who I don't know much about the DC universe.
Same.
To a lazy man, sounds like their version of Captain America.
Yes.
A superpowered soldier who fights Nazis.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig is no longer in the running for this,
apparently.
But instead, is none other, according to Deadline, in talks, nothing signed yet, none other than Colin Farrell.
Oh, okay.
Which would be really interesting because he's already in the DC universe as the Penguin.
Yeah.
I know that's not James Gunn's part of it,
No.
the universe. It's the like extra, what do they call it? Other worlds or whatever they call it. But yeah, he is apparently up for this role.
If Robert Downey Jr. can do it.
Yeah, true.
No reason why Colin Farrell excites me in a role more than Daniel Craig does.
Yes.
Any role.
Yes. Would you like a slice of bland with your Daniel Craig?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's more exciting than it was.
And I tell you what is interesting as well. I know there's a lot of deep cuts, and 15 years ago, probably no one knew what the hell a Guardian of the Galaxy was.
Yeah.
But Marvel had at least developed a bit of a sure footing, hadn't they? By the time they were getting to
Yeah.
Which obviously was also a James Gunn movie, but he is going straight in with some of these
lesser known characters.
Yeah, Clayface.
He's got nothing to lose, has
Sergeant
he?
Rock.
Because the big name characters are flopping anyway.
Yeah.
So if you get people interested in the lesser known characters, you've got nothing to lose.
Interesting.
Definitely.
Just a couple more. So Deadline have announced or have an exclusive story that the first feature film from the Jersey Films Second Avenue production company is about to go before the cameras. Now, who do you think is behind this production company?
What are they called?
Jersey Films Second Avenue.
Ben Affleck.
No.
I was just thinking of Jersey Girl. Jersey film.
I would say a movie star, probably, ironically, biggest in the 80s, but and 90s, but in the last 15 years more known for TV. You know when I said biggest?
Yeah.
It's the opposite of that. He's not a big man.
Warwick Davis.
No, but he's bigger than that.
Danny DeVito.
Correct.
Yes.
Danny DeVito, Lucy DeVito, and Jake DeVito run the production company.
Okay.
That is father, son, and daughter.
Right.
And their first production will be a comedy movie called Drag.
Right.
To which
drag racing or drag queens?
Just wait a sec. I think you might be surprised.
Okay.
Starring in said movie will be Lizzie Kaplan,
Okay.
John Stamos,
Yep.
Christine Coe, and Lucy DeVito.
Right.
Don't know how she got that job.
Yeah, Danny DeVito's 80.
Really?
Yeah, just Googled him.
In Drag, a routine robbery at a rural house turns into a nightmare for two amateur burglars when one of them throws their back out. Things spiral out of control as they try to make it out before the homeowner returns.
Right. Okay.
The DeVito said, as soon as we read the script, we knew we wanted to make this film. It is a physical comedy in the classic sense, and the story comes from the performances and the action of the film, but keeps you guessing from beginning to end.
Nice. Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
I like Danny DeVito.
Me too.
I've always had a bit of a soft spot.
Me too.
For Danny DeVito.
I know we're now in nearly April. I think an underrated Christmas film is Deck the Halls.
Great film.
With him and Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I like Danny DeVito.
Me too.
Final news story of the week. Would you be interested in having an actual original E.T. model used in the actual original E.T. movie?
Yes.
In your house?
Of course I would.
Good. Because there is soon to be an auction at Sotheby's, which will put up for sale many items from the personal collection of the Oscar-winning special effects and makeup artist Carlo Rambaldi.
Okay.
The top item expected in said auction is the E.T. model, which is expected to fetch between $600,000 and $900,000.
Here's a prediction.
Okay.
I think it'll go for a lot more than that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
breaking the
Uber movie memorabilia. Yeah. An actual E.T.
Also in the auction will be 2 screen-used sandworm models from Dune. We're talking the David Lynch 80s version. A dinosaur egg and baby dinosaur animatronic from the 1993 Japanese film Rex, A Dinosaur Story. Plus items from Blade Runner, Total Recall, Labyrinth, and Jurassic Park.
Oh, Labyrinth and Jurassic Park are two of my faves.
Yeah.
Does it say what?
I do have a link, I think, to the auction pages, but I don't know how easily I can get to whatever Jurassic Park thing is there. But I can put the link in the Discord or whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, if I had like endless money,
yeah,
but I'd have so much movie memorabilia. It'd be terrible.
Imagine how much stuff you'd have to fall off the walls.
Oh god, yeah, it'd be terrible. E.T. would be flying around the place.
Do you want to see him? He's very shiny.
I do want to see him.
Little E.T. guy.
Oh yeah, I want that. I wouldn't have that even in here. That'd be in the lounge.
He's got his own chef with him and
Look
everything.
how big it is. It's huge. That looks like that picture. I'm going to put that picture on the video. That looks like he's just made it out of chocolate.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
You know, you see those videos on Instagram of
This is
people
made
making
of
stuff out of
ganache.
chocolate. Yeah, it looks just like he's just made that.
like the worst hors d'oeuvre ever.
I'll put that on the video so people can see it.
Good. That's all the news.
Excellent. Well done. Great news. I've accidentally closed my browser. Whilst I open it, have you watched anything good at the top of the screen?
I've watched a couple of things this week, not loads of stuff. My sort of watching whilst I'm doing other stuff, I've been catching up because I feel it's a while since we've talked about Dropout TV, which I know we're both going to mention.
I've been watching something on Dropout
this week. I've been catching up with Make Some Noise.
Okay.
Which, like, watching the latest series of that, which was... It's a Game Changer spin-off. So it's basically, even if you're not familiar with Dropout, I feel like Make Some Noise is probably the thing you are most likely to have seen pop up on your reels or stuff like that.
What is Dropout?
Dropout is
I know what it is.
subscription service that is based around improv, TV shows, quizzes. There's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons playthroughs, which I know you're going to talk about. It's a form of like college humor franchise.
Yeah, they're basically a group of comedians that just get together and made a streaming service.
Yes, and
it's fucking brilliant.
Make Some Noise is essentially a game where they are given a prompt on the screen and they have to improv a scene or a commentary about whatever prompt they are given. And I think slowly you can see that Dropout is getting into the wider consciousness.
Yeah, picking up some traction.
Ben Schwartz is on an episode of this. He's a proper movie star.
He is.
He's in season 2 of Make Some Noise.
Okay.
I'm still going for it, but yeah, really.
If somebody
really
said to me, "You've got to get rid of all your streaming services,"
I think that'd be the one I would keep.
Netflix, obviously, the only
for the purposes of the show.
For the purposes of the show, and the fact that it's the best. It still is the best streaming service. But Dropout would be second, definitely.
It's a bit like it is my happy place. I can just put something on for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it will make me smile.
You can find whatever sort of comedy you're into. You can find something on there that will fit it. There's like stand-up shows on there. There's improv shows on there. There's game shows on there. There's loads of Dungeons and Dragons stuff on there, like an overwhelming amount. It's just great. Honestly, it's like less than a £5 a month as well. It's well worth your money.
Yeah,
it's really good.
So I've watched that, and then I watched a documentary last weekend. I watched Music by John Williams.
Oh, okay. How was
on
this?
Disney Plus. It was really good.
Yeah,
and this is just I guess is what it says on the tin. This is the life and times of legendary composer John Williams.
Yeah,
and I learned loads about him, his upbringing, and how he started off as a jazz musician. His father was a musician. His mother was a dancer. That's how they got together. So he was kind of born into the arts, basically. And he kind of fell into film scoring, soundtracking by accident.
Okay.
And he is, as various people say in the movie, should be as world renowned as any classical composer.
Definitely. I think he is now, isn't he?
I think pretty much. But I think especially when people look back in years and years and years.
Yeah.
And a lot of the footage is from Steven Spielberg's home videos,
right?
Because he's like recording everything as they're, scoring movies in the studio. Because obviously, John Williams has done quite a lot of movies before he started his working relationship with Spielberg.
Right.
But
Spielberg was what made
took
him.
him to the next level. You know, huge movies and
I'm assuming Disney Plus.
yes.
Okay. Might check that out.
I guess the people you would expect to be talking about him are talking about him in this. So in terms of the talking, well, it is talking heads, but it is also him and Steven Spielberg walking around his house and reminiscing. And Spielberg's there, George Lucas is there. You know, various other composers. So I think Danny Elfman's in there at one point. Various musicians that he's worked with, and Chris Martin. Chris Martin seems to be in there because Coldplay walk on to their concerts to the tune the music from E.T.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I'm definitely going to watch that. I will watch that at some point.
It's really good. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, I think that's about it. How about you?
I've also watched a documentary this weekend or last weekend. I watched Getting Lost.
Oh yeah,
which is the documentary about Lost.
Are you sure?
It isn't. It is on a streaming service. It's on Amazon, but you do have to pay for it.
Yeah,
it was $4.99, which is
reasonable.
Reasonable, but more than most things on Amazon.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I think. How do I say this? Because I don't want to slag it off. There's nothing new there.
Yeah.
And now I know I'm like I'd class myself as a super fan of Lost. And
yeah.
I think you would as well. But it's really nice to like catch up with everybody who was involved in making it.
Yeah.
And pretty much, apart from Dominic Monaghan and Matthew Fox, I think pretty much most of the cast are in it.
Okay.
Those two randomly are just not.
I shame they didn't get Matthew Fox.
Yeah. Because he's like, it's his show.
Yeah. But
also, I don't think he's like highly regarded by the rest of the cast.
Interesting.
Is that fair to say?
I don't know.
You hear rumours about it.
Right.
Put it that way. But it's mainly Evangeline Lilly. She does a lot of it. Who was obviously Kate and Sawyer. What's his name?
Josh Holloway. It's
those two are the main two, and then the rest of the cast are and Hurley and Jin and Juliet and Desmond. They're all Locke.
So the producers, directors.
Yeah, Damon Lindelof, Carlton Cuse are both there.
Okay.
And they're just talking about. They're not necessarily talking about how they made Lost. They're talking about the time they had whilst they were making Lost, and there's nothing like groundbreaking of like this is how we did this, and it's just like we all enjoyed getting to know each other. This was where we were, and then there's a whole section about because Lost came about at the same time podcasts came about.
Yeah,
and so they get all the old Lost podcasters back together.
Okay, and
so they're all in it, and I was like, I used to listen to them, and it was like, so that was quite interesting learning about where they went after that, but it lingers on that too long.
Right,
that would be my one criticism. There's a whole half an hour maybe of this 2 hour documentary is about these Lost podcasters and what
but that was a huge part of it.
It was huge
when you've got because obviously you had all these questions in the air. You had it either on it's how TV used to work, isn't it? Especially in the States, you get your 7 or 8 episodes at a time, then you don't see that show for a month, 6 weeks.
That's exactly what a lot of them were saying. Like, if you miss an episode of Lost at the time when it was on, there was no way of getting that back. You missed it. And now people don't understand that with the streaming world, and you can just watch whatever you want. At that point, you couldn't.
Yeah.
And these podcasts all developed from. I remember me and you used to talk about it all the time. I used to watch both episodes, an episode twice a week, every week, till the next one came on, and we'd be texting about it all the time. And so that was really interesting, and seeing where they all are. It's just. I'd have liked more about the making of it, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this was more about how it changed all their lives, and how they all liked it.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because you don't. I'm not trying to be negative. You don't have to dig very far underneath Lost to find some quite nasty allegations.
That's also in there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fair play then.
They go straight to Carlton Cuse and Damon Lindelof. Yeah. Both apologise for the atmosphere that they know was in the writing room.
Yeah.
They do both say it was a different time back then, but there is an apology from both of them in the show.
Interesting.
So that's quite interesting. And there are some of the victims also in the show that accept that apology as well. So the filmmakers were not afraid to go to both of them with that.
Good.
So
what I was going to say on the other side of it is like that, which I'm not surprised when you say it's about the experience people had, is that clearly it was an experience that did have huge life effects on people. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
They just loved Hawaii so much they stayed there.
Yeah.
They've lived there forever.
The guy who played Richard still lives there now.
Yeah,
and he retired from acting. He's done a bit since.
and
But he retired
everyone
afterwards.
turned up in like Hawaii 5-0 because they
still lived in Hawaii. Yeah, or they still lived there. So yeah, that was quite interesting, and they do go quite deep into that. Like, there's this thing a couple of years ago came out about it, how there was a toxic atmosphere in the writing room. It was misogynistic, it was racist, and they do go quite deep into that. And some of the fans were like, "I don't know if I can still. I've dedicated my life to this show, but I don't know if I still can enjoy the show." And they address that and that sort of thing.
Oh, interesting.
But it is a really interesting documentary. I would highly. It's on for over 2 hours. Goes quite deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lost changed it. Lost changed everything when it comes to TV shows. At the time, it was all just reality shows and things like that on TV. And then this big, massive budget drama comes out, and they're still being made to this day. And it did change the world. It has made me want to watch it again, and I don't have the time to do that.
I've never watched it again.
Have you never gone back to it?
Nope.
You should. I did it in COVID. It was my COVID rewatch.
Yeah, I remember.
5 years ago now. Yeah. And occasionally I'll just. If I see an episode is on something,
I tell you, I think I might have watched the first series a couple of times.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've definitely not gone past that.
I think Alex, our Patreon, he's doing it at the minute.
Right, okay.
But this show's 20 years old now. People are still rewatching it.
Yeah.
It says Lost is huge, but I can't rewatch it again. I don't have the time, and there's too much stuff coming out to watch, so I need to talk myself out of it. But at some point, I'm going to watch it again. It's my favourite show of all time.
I think I feel like we've talked about this off air before. I'm sure I sent you the link, or we talked about it. So there is a version of it that is in chronological order.
So you can watch it in chronological. So all the flashbacks.
So someone has re-edited the whole 6 seasons to have it in chronological order.
I don't know.
And you can't tell me you're not tempted to watch that version.
I am absolutely tempted, because just to see what it'd be like. But it's a lot. It's a big time commitment to put into something. Lost is. It's huge. It's over 100 hours of show.
Cool.
And on Dropout, I've been quickly. We're going really long, and we've got nothing to end with anyway, so that's fine. We'll just end with this. Yeah. Also on Dropout, what you've just been talking about, I've been watching Dungeons and Drag Queens.
Oh yes,
recommended from our Patreon, Ross Cook.
Yeah, 2
series on there. I've just finished the first season.
Right.
I say first season, it's 4 episodes.
Yeah,
but they're over 2 hours long each.
Lovely.
So it's a big time, but they're easy to just put on.
Yeah.
And Dungeons and Drag Queens is 4 drag queens playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's nothing more than that. It's simple. There's no like special effects or anything. They're literally rolling dice and playing dungeons, and it's the most entertaining show. It's absolutely brilliant.
Lovely.
It's emotional. It's funny. It's very funny. In fact, the guy Brendan Lee Mulligan, the dungeon master, is incredible in it, and the 4 drag queens are all hilarious. And I would. If you don't have Dropout, get Dropout anyway, because it's so good.
Get a free trial.
Also, then go and watch Dungeons and Drag Queens, because it's really funny. I'm going to go straight into the second season.
Cool.
The same 4 drag queens. It's a sequel to the same story.
Okay.
But yeah.
Lovely.
Cool. Right, we've done an hour. I think we just leave it there, I think.
I mean, so.
Normally we do like the charts or something, but we've just waffled on for a lot for this episode.
It's fine.
Do you want to talk about what we're doing on Thursday?
Yeah, come back on Thursday and listen to us talk about Still Today.
Yeah, a rom-com.
Rom-com.
We don't do many rom-coms on the show.
We don't do Bottom of the Stream does not churn out a tremendous deal of rom-coms.
It does not.
We've had a few, and
you could probably count them on one hand.
To be honest, I can't pull one into my brain that A is memorable or B much good. So
yeah. You could probably count them on one hand.
Yeah.
Rainbow Time? Would you class that as one?
Ish. I mean, that was fairly dramedy as well, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Other than that, none are coming to mind.
Okay.
But so this is a full-on rom-com.
Oh yeah, 100%.
100% romantic comedy.
And yeah, you can find it on Amazon Prime in the UK, which probably means you find it there most of the places as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not sure what you're going to think of it.
I don't know what you're going to think of it, but I've got an idea.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. It's way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit more in yours, but I don't know.
Okay.
because we've never done this kind of film before.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see where we land on it. So yeah, come back on Thursday. The podcast will be on all your podcast apps. It won't be on YouTube for obvious reasons. But yeah, go and find it anywhere you want. In the meantime, like, subscribe, do whatever you want to do with this video. Ring the bell. Don't know what that does, but do it anyway. And yeah, we'll be back next Monday for another episode.
Cheers.
Bye.